Thank you for tuning in to Watchsixto. My name's Sixto. Today, for review, I have a vintage Rolex, aka Buckley dial edition. Why they call it a Buckley dial? I'm glad you asked. Allow me to introduce you. This watch was lent in to me by Timekeeper. Did a little research. Pretty cool. Little backstory to it. There is a watch dealer. Correction, he's a vintage watch dealer, or maybe was. I didn't look in to see if he was still current. His name was John Buckley. He had his own shop, and for everybody in the watch business, we're trying to figure out why Rolex did a stamp dial, not a traditional, what they always pull out with the hour markers with they were either stainless steel, diamond, but all this was literally pressed on. So he apparently was the lucky one they got named after. So it's a champagne. Well, they did it with pretty much the majority of a two-tone. This would have had a two-tone bracelet, but which this one was transferred over into a leather band, and that leather band into this little newer leather band. So I'm not going to do a full-on wrist shot with this one because it's not my watch. This is, forgot to mention the reference, it's a 1601. This was pretty much manufactured in 79. The movement is a 3035, which was introduced in 1977. It's a 42-hour power reserve, 27 joules. It hacks and hand winds, which does not have the quick date set, so you gotta advance the hand all the way around, or you could do it. Haven't tried it with this one. If it between the 9 and the 12 repeatedly back and forth, but again, it's not my watch, so I'm not going to try it. So I'm going to go all the way around for right now for this video so you can see. There it is. Jump to the 24. Man, well, I stand corrected, even though the internet that told me that this was a hacking movement, but apparently it wasn't. So no hacking. I stand corrected. Yep. But it's still a cool piece. Nice little history behind the dial, which traditionally, obviously, Rolex with their Datejust were always not always looking this pristine, especially for the age. So let me know, what do you guys think about vintage watches? A lot of people don't like them. The majority of them pretty much do, or are okay with it. I dig it. The two-tone, obviously the crown, that is, let's see if I can get it to focus, and there it is. The crown is stamped, which is kind of cool. It pretty much matches up. The Cyclops, obviously, at the 3 o'clock. So usually when you want to find out what is the reference number for the watch, they're tattooed or engraved at the bottom of the casing at the 12 o'clock, and the serial at the 6 o'clock position. So like I said, this is a 1601 Buckley dial, which kind of cool to have a little backstory to it, with everybody still scratching their head on why did Rolex did this for pretty much a 10-year run from 78 to 88. That's when they stopped doing the Buckley dial. So if I look for one, I could probably find one on my birth year. So even though I'm not going to fully do a full-on wrist shot, I'll give you a small taste. Here is my Zelo swordfish. As you can see, it's gonna pretty much devour the case. So here it is. I'm a 7 3/4 inch wrist. Oh, forgot to give you the measurements. Measurements are 43.5 lug to lug. From the 8 and 2, 35.5 to the crown, 38. Thickness 11.4. A 20 mil lug width, which is cool. They had drill lugs, so you could easily switch out straps if you wanted to. A screw down crown. Nice dome crystal, so stainless steel, all that beautiful work for a vintage timepiece. Let me know in the description or in the comment section below, what do you guys think about vintage Rolex or vintage watches in general. Obviously no lume on this guy because the lume is pretty much not even there. So let me know, what do you guys think? Till the next one, you guys are awesome. Bye.